ABC News is reporting that Donald Trump shared two pieces of classified information about U.S. nuclear submarines with an Australian billionaire while he was out of office during a dinner at Mar-a-Lago. Now, Anthony Pratt is the Australian billionaire. He's the head of this shipping industry called Pratt Industries, and he became a member at Mar-a-Lago when Donald Trump was elected because that's what you do when you're a billionaire. You buy access to the most powerful person in the world because under the Trump administration, you had the ability to do that. You had the ability to spend millions of dollars, have private dinners with the most powerful person in the world, and get some military nuclear secrets out of it, which... Yes, the fears that we all had that Donald Trump was, selling out the country with the information that he had gathered as president of the United States, it has come true. He put the lives of men and women who are literally spending time away from their families in a tube of metal at the bottom of the sea to protect the country. He's just putting their lives at risk. By rubbing elbows with billionaires at his private club because he wants them to know that you can get access. If you're a member here, if you spend millions of dollars here, you have access to me, right? And I'll rub your back. You rub mine, I'll rub yours, because that's who Donald Trump is. It's not America first. It's Donald Trump first. Always has been, always will be. So Pratt was at a dinner at the White House, and he mentioned that Australia was considering buying submarines. And Trump leaned over and said, the U.S. has the best submarines. This is how many nuclear warheads we can put on our submarines. And this is how close our submarines can get to Russian nuclear submarines without the Russian submarines even knowing that we're there. And so what does Pratt do? He's overheard minutes later telling that same information to another guest at Mar-a-Lago. Jack Smith, who's investigating Donald Trump and him stealing 100 documents, classified documents, and hiding them at Mar-a-Lago, he interviews Pratt. Jack Smith interviews Pratt, and Pratt tells him that he mentioned the secrets to 45 people. Journalists, employees, members of the Australian government. 45 people who probably mentioned those pieces of information to 45 other people who then mentioned it to 45 other people, and the spiral continues. Whether or not that information got back to Russians and they learned that they needed to change their detection technology, who knows? But Donald Trump showed another billionaire that, hey, when you're a member at this club, you have access to information that nobody else knows about because Donald Trump only cares about himself. And if you're out there and you're still supporting Donald Trump, the only way he's going to care about you is if you have millions of dollars to give him. That's it. That if you're, Joe Schmo sitting on your couch watching this in Georgia, Alabama, Wisconsin, wherever you are, he does not care about you. Because really, put yourself in that submarine at the bottom of the ocean and ask yourself if you think the former president sharing information about your submarine with a billionaire, with a foreign billionaire, whether or not that puts your life at risk and whether or not you still support that dude. Ask yourself that question because I think that changes a lot of people's minds. Put yourself in a submarine for 8 months away from your family. How can anybody support this guy? What this screams to me is that Donald Trump needs to be locked up. He needs to be thrown away because Jack Smith interviewed Pratt, and Pratt said that he didn't actually get to see any of the 100 documents that Jack Smith was interested in. Donald Trump just leaned over and, just top of his noggin said, hey, here's some information that you may not know about. Well, that you definitely don't know about because it's classified. That means that Donald Trump shouldn't have access to anyone else. He needs to be excommunicado from the world. Lock him up. throw away the key. If you don't want to put him in prison, put him under house arrest where he can't email, he can't have conversations, no visitors. Make it so his family members are the only ones who can see him. And God, I mean, if you know anything about the Trump family, that would be punishment in and of itself. If like Donald Trump Jr. is the only person he could talk to. Or, have Laura Trump sing her Don't Back Down song to him. That's the only communication he can have. That's his entertainment for the rest of his life. Okay, but all jokes aside, this is an incredibly dangerous time for our country because the former president of the United States is willing to share classified secrets that puts lives in danger so that he can impress members of his private club, the Billionaire Boys Club. Our country's never been in a situation like this before, and it calls for a solution that we've never seen before, and that's to lock up Donald Trump and throw away the key, keep him on an island where he cannot communicate with anyone. So here's to Jack Smith, hoping that he nails this son of a bitch to the wall when things are all said and done here. I'm interested to hear what you guys have to say. If you want to read the ABC article, I've linked it down below. I suggest reading it because you're going to hear, this be dismissed as, that's not that big of a deal, right? He's trying to sell U.S. submarines or, the U.S. Navy, they already knew that information, or the Australian Navy, they already knew that information. Yeah, but Pratt, he wasn't in the Australian Navy, right? Like, and Donald Trump was trying to sell submarines by rubbing elbows and trying to impress one of his private members. It wasn't, and it wasn't even really him trying to sell submarines. It was him trying to show that he has information that you only get if you're a member at Mar-a-Lago. Because Trump first. Trump first always has been, always will be. Thanks for watching, guys. My name is Brendan with Reflect. If you're new to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button or follow wherever you're catching this media, and see you in the next video.